Yes, that's right. Not long to go now until the F18 Worlds. So we're out on an F18. The most basic, you could argue. This is a Hobie Tiger. I'm going out with Phoebe.
Hiya.
And we're just going to look at the procedures that we'll be going through while we're sailing around an upwind, downwind course. A bit like a race course. Okay, so we're just starting off on our upwind leg. So we can see Phoebe is positioned just forwards of the front beam. I'm just behind the front beam. You can probably see that. And I'm just steering by watching the telltales on the jib. Yes, we're looking in quite basic terms of what we've got to do. All right, so the wind's shifting there. The jib's started to flap, so just bearing away a little bit. At this time also, Phoebe could be looking for the buoy. The sea is quite shiny today, so it's not going to be particularly easy to spot. But what we're aiming to do when we tack is to tack so we end up at least 5 boat lengths away from the buoy in preparation to go round it, leaving it on the left side or port side of the boat. So in fact, we'd be pretty safe to tack sooner rather than later. All right. So we're going for the tack. Phoebe's getting back on the trampoline. I'll say, you ready?
You're ready.
That's polite. Okay, and we just go across the boat. Check out all the tacking videos if you're not so hot on your tacking. And then getting forwards again as soon as we can. Right, you may notice that Phoebe is actually hooked onto the trapeze in her current position. That's so if we do get enough of a gust so that the hull lifts, Phoebe can just extend out onto the trapeze. Easy, so we don't have to dump the power as soon. Okay, I'm just trimming the mainsail by looking at the leech telltales. And what we're trying to do is keep, of the 4 on there, keep 3 of them flying at all times. And we're magic. So we're constantly looking at where we're going. That's the most important thing whenever we go out sailing, is where are we going? Because if we don't know where we're going, then what's the point in any of it? To have fun. Okay, put it in the comments below. Alright, so the next decision to make is when to tack the buoy. When we tack, we end up at approximately 90 degrees to our starting course. But that's only if we're sailing the boat close to the wind. So we really have to be watching the telltales on the jib. Little wind shift there as we come away from the left side of the bay. All right, now if we were going to be tacking within 5 boat lengths of the buoy, then what we do is lift the dagger board on this side before we tack, so then it's done. But because we've got quite a reasonable length leg on the other tack to sail, we'll leave this dagger board down until we're basically until just before we go to hoist the spinnaker. I think that looks pretty safe. Should we go for it? Okay. Right, here we go. Okay, if the wind is any lighter, it's always a good idea when you come out of your tack just to check your battens on your mainsail have gone across. Okay, but we're not going to leave this till the last minute, so Phoebe's got some jobs she needs to do. So starting off with the leeward dagger board. Up about 54 centimetres above the deck. And now as we come in, we could just ease off just a little bit of jib. Yeah, just a little bit is fine. And we can now pull the tack line out. That's the purple one on the front beam. Okay, and we're just in preparation for the hoist. See, because the wind's gone pretty light, we can hoist it a bit earlier. So just before we get to the buoy, I'm going to lift the windward dagger board. That's optional who does that. Okay, yeah, let's go for the hoist there. All right, and she's up. So now if you cleat that and go down to the leeward side. All right, so we're going to go up by the front beam. I've still got the traveller central, but there's plenty of slack in the main sheet. All right, if you just sheet in a bit there. Yeah, the wind has gone pretty light here, but I think under the banner of learning our procedures around the course, this is still a valuable exercise. So picking the angle that we're going to sail at, it's quite tricky in the really light winds. We don't want to go up too much higher than 90 degrees apparent wind, so we're using our telltales on the front to gauge that. And then in the lighter winds, we would need to sail a bit further than we would expect before we jibe. So we need to prepare for our jibe pretty soon as we get close to the harbour here. So we might have to put in extra jibes just because we're not going to have enough space. So are you ready for the jibe, Phoebe?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. We're going into the jibe. As we do it, Phoebe can ease the old sheet and start pulling the sheet across on the new side. Again, checking the battens on the mainsail that they have gone because the wind's pretty light, and then moving forwards again as soon as we can. Now we've got a bit more breeze, so I'm getting in pretty close to the mast just to encourage the hull just to unstick, if it will. Incidentally, we're using the auto ratchets from Allen Performance Hardware. They're working extremely well. They're slightly bigger than the Harkins, giving a bit more grip on the rope, which really makes them grip the rope more as the wind gets stronger. 60 mil. Very nice. Yeah, we are going to have to put in a few more jibes, but that's okay. So it's always better to put in a few more jibes than to sail really slowly for a long period of time under the banner of getting there as soon as we can. So the wind is swinging around there a bit, which means we might want to jump. Where is... Okay. So what we can do here is, if we continue on this jibe for a bit longer, it makes determining when to put the next jibe in much easier, because we won't be quite so far from the mark. How are we feeling about this, Phoebe? Happy with the strategy?
Yeah, I'm liking it.
Very good. We must be getting... Yeah, we should go pretty soon. Okay, should we go there?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so one thing to check as you move around the boat, and whenever you're sailing, in fact, whenever you've got time on your hands, it's always a good idea just to have a look around and check for potential things that could get jammed, that you could stand on, sit on, get twisted round your foot, and so on, so that we're not going to get caught lines as we go round. Okay, so looking where the buoy is, because we need to know where we're going. The wind, by the way, is probably only about 5 knots.
Not much.
Not much. Okay, so we can see the buoy and we're going to go just slightly beyond 90 degrees to the buoy because the wind is so light. If the wind was stronger, we'd certainly jibe earlier. Okay, one more jibe. Here we go.
Sitting at this time.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right, so before we go for the drop, Phoebe's going to come to the windward side, but before that, you can put the dagger board down all the way. That's it, and then come across now. Okay, and we're going to drop it a little bit early, so you could take up the slack on the retrieval there. Let the sheets loose, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, and go for it. And now release the tack line. Right, I'll put the dagger board down on the windward side, and then we're coming in. If we'd have been out for a good fight, we'd have dropped that a little bit later, but we're trying to go in wide, out tight, and then onto our upwind leg. And there we go. So thanks very much for watching. I hope that has both been educational and entertaining, and maybe even quite interesting. If you're new to Joyrider TV, then you could subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll be back soon with some more on Joyrider TV. Thank you very much.